Chapter 1: Shifting Skies. Imagine a world where, without warning, the magnetic poles flip. Right now, our trusty compass points north, but what if, suddenly, it pointed south? Just think about that for a second. We walk our daily paths, tracing maps, unaware of the invisible forces above our heads, guiding us like unseen hands. These magnetic fields wrap our Earth protectively, like a soft, invisible blanket. But what happens when that blanket shifts, tangles, or comes undone? Scientists tell us that Earth's poles have flipped in the past. Some say this happens every few 100,000 years, like clockwork. Yet, just a blink ago in geological time, it has been rumored that civilizations might have disappeared, gone as if swept away by a great unseen hand. Is it possible that our ancestors knew something we don't? Stories from ancient cultures speak of sky battles and star alignments. Might they have witnessed the skies behaving in ways unfamiliar to us now? Imagine the skies swirling with vibrant colors, auroras dancing in places they shouldn't. We'd see sights meant only for those farther north or south. Imagine how our hearts would race at the sight of luminescent ribbons lighting up the skies. But with beauty can come danger. Our technology, reliant on stable signals from satellites, might start to fail. Planes, ships, everything needing direction could find themselves helpless, guided by nothing, lost amidst vast wilderness and open waters. What if the Great Pyramids, Stonehenge, or Machu Picchu were built as ancient warnings? Feel the chill of that thought. Did their builders foresee a world where these monuments marked safe zones unaffected by such events? Perhaps these ancient societies had wisdom now lost to time. Whispers echoed through stone, leading scientists, gazing into their instruments, tell us not to worry, that this flip is gradual. But can we be so sure? Could there be sudden changes that the scientific community hasn't yet noticed? Some suggest that a quick twist, a rapid spin, could send the world into chaos. Could a single dramatic flip bring an end to what we know? Think about the power of belief. Throughout history, people have revered, feared, and sought to control the elements above. Imagine a priest, an elder, raising arms to the skies, invoking knowledge lost. Maybe, just maybe, they were onto something deep and profound, something we've now forgotten. We say these flips have happened before, but what of civilizations that left no trace? Dark corners of knowledge whisper of societies gone before history began, their tales reduced to myths and legends. Could past collapses into prehistory be the echoes of such a catastrophic event? Could they have been true kings and queens, not of myth, but of forgotten eras of our world? And what if, as some propose, our very minds, sensitive as they are, can feel these magnetic fields? Could these changing forces affect thought, mood, or even relationships? It's haunting to think that our ancestors might have left cryptic warnings in their art, in their stone-carved maps, or perhaps in the layout of their long-abandoned cities. Ultimately, as the skies shift and history's uncertain tales echo around us, we stand on the brink of something perhaps beyond imagination. The earth, ever-changing beneath our feet, carries secrets that only time may choose to reveal. As we puzzle over what once was and what could be, we find ourselves part of a grand narrative, played out beneath skies that have always watched and waited, unblinking, through the vast stretches of time. Chapter 2: Axial Anomaly. Imagine a world where everything we know about history and science is not as straightforward as it seems. Picture a reality where dramatic changes in the planet have played a pivotal role. influencing every civilization known to humankind? Could it be that these mysterious forces have the power to start empires and end them just as swiftly? Now, let's dive into the peculiar and fascinating case of the Earth's shifting magnetic poles. A phenomenon cloaked in mystery and intrigue. The magnetic field of Earth is something many of us rarely think about. Yet, it surrounds us every moment of every day. It protects us from harmful solar radiation and guides the compasses we use to navigate the world. But what if this invisible shield, so crucial to our lives, wasn't always stable? Scientists tell us that Earth's magnetic poles are on the move. They've flipped again and again over millions of years. But could these flips be more than just a quirky natural event? Could they be linked to the rise and fall of civilizations throughout history? Imagine our ancestors, living in ancient times, relying on the stars and the sun to guide their way. What if one day everything changed? How would they react if the mysterious forces that they depended upon suddenly shifted? Could entire communities have crumbled simply because the very ground under their feet felt different, as if the planet itself was turning against them? These pole shifts are not quick, flipping in the blink of an eye. They could take hundreds, even thousands of years. During this time, the magnetic field's protection weakens. With it, harmful cosmic rays from the sun could have bombarded Earth, leading to climate changes. What effects could this have on the people living through these times? Could it be more than just the physical impact? Perhaps it brought with it fear, a sense of impending doom, and the unraveling of social structures as the environment seemed to play tricks on them. As we dig through the remnants of past societies, we find strange coincidences. Great civilizations seem to have thrived and collapsed as if guided by an unseen hand. Was it just the natural cycle of empires? Or could these magnetic pole shifts have played a role? When we look at the ruins and artifacts, do they whisper secrets of a hidden history we have yet to fully understand? Some say civilizations like the Maya, the Indus Valley, and even the Egyptian Empire have unexplained gaps and mysteries. Imagine ancient priests looking to the sky for answers as their world transformed before their eyes. Imagine leaders interpreting these natural events as omens of the gods' displeasure. Could decisions spurred by these beliefs have led to societal change, even downfall? The Earth's magnetic puzzle is not solved. Our modern interpretations of ancient texts and archaeological findings give us clues, yet countless questions remain. What did our ancestors truly know of the sky and the earth? Could they have understood more than we now give them credit for, devising ways to measure changes we are only beginning to rediscover? Think about today. The movement of our magnetic poles continues. They wander, slowly but surely, year by year. Some scientists suggest we are due for another flip. What does this mean for us? Will our technology, so advanced and yet so fragile, withstand such a transition? Could the fabric of our own society face strains, as did our ancestors, if we are plunged suddenly into chaos by an unpredictable world? In essence, there is so much more to learn. We stand at the edge, peering into the unknown, trying to connect dots across time. History holds mysteries within its grasp. Earth itself passes through changes beyond our control or full understanding, and the tales of old may yet have lessons to teach if only we dare open our minds to the possibilities, knowing that behind every shadow might be a truth waiting to be revealed. So, as we speculate and explore, the real question remains, are we prepared for the world's hidden forces that may just be lying in wait? Chapter 3: the great disconnect. Imagine a world where everything we know is turned upside down. It's not just about the end of civilizations, but about something even more mysterious and profound that ties into the Earth's secrets. Scientists have discovered that our planet's magnetic poles switch places from time to time. It's a fact that this phenomenon has happened many times before. So what if these flips are way more important than anyone ever imagined? Could these mysterious shifts in magnetic energy be the unseen hand causing entire civilizations to vanish into memories? Thousands of years ago, ancient peoples left behind clues about their lives. But what if they also left hints about their unexpected disappearances? Civilizations like the Mayans, the people of Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley, and many more seemed to vanish without a trace. They were flourishing one day, with bustling cities and vibrant cultures, and then they were gone. Could it be that these civilizations experienced the kind of magnetic shifts capable of altering the very foundations of life? When the magnetic poles flip, strange things happen. Our compasses go haywire. The skies fill with beautiful yet ominous northern and southern lights far from their usual polar homes, and animals that rely on the Earth's magnetic field for migration are sent on strange new paths. But what if humans, too, are affected? Could these flips induce chaos and uncertainty, leading nations into confusion and downfall? Imagine a magnetic storm so strong that it clouds the minds of people. What if leaders of ancient cities found themselves unable to make decisions, their minds muddled as if in a fog? Without guidance or clear thought, societies could crumble from internal pressures rather than external threats. Could this be why some cultures seemed to leave in haste, abandoning their homes and belongings as if they were fleeing an invisible, unstoppable force? Consider the lost city of Atlantis. Many have debated its existence, weaving it into myth and legend. But what if it was real? A flourishing, advanced civilization brought to its knees by a massive pole shift. Could records of its existence have been wiped away by the magnetic forces that buried their achievements beneath the waves? As we embrace modern technology, what if a pole flip were to happen today? Could the very technologies we've come to rely on, our satellites, power grids, and communication systems, fall victim to the same invisible forces that might have undone ancient societies? Think of the possibilities. A day when cell phones can't connect, GPS systems fail, and electrical power falters, setting off a chain reaction of global disarray. And yet, how prepared are we? Scientists can tell us that a flip is due, but exact predictions remain elusive. Will it be tomorrow, next year, or 1,000 years from now? History hints that these flips are sudden and unpredictable, much like the disappearing acts of past civilizations whose stories abruptly end with no sequel. While it might sound like the stuff of fantasy, the forces at play are as real as the ground beneath our feet. With every artifact we uncover, every piece of pottery or ancient writing, the puzzle becomes both clearer and more complex. We find ourselves asking, were these people experiencing shifts in the world that echoed across their lives, signaling the dawn of new eras and the twilight of old ones? So we are left with more questions than answers. If magnetic pole shifts have the power to disrupt not just nature but human progress itself, then what hidden forces guide our steps today? Each discovery pushes us to rethink what we know about our past, urging us to look for the hidden alignments between ancient stories and scientific facts. Can we truly dismiss the possibility that magnetic flip-flops are woven into the very fabric of our shared history, quietly orchestrating rises and falls beyond our current understanding? How has our view been shaped by the belief that we are safe from these ancient forces? As we gaze up at the sky, feeling the gentle pull of our planet, the possibilities linger in the back of our minds, waiting to be fully realized. In our search for answers, are we prepared to confront the great unknowns of our past and, perhaps, our future? Asterisk, Chapter 4, Civilization Collapse. Imagine a world where everything we know starts to change dramatically. The sky behaves strangely, and our compasses go haywire, guiding us in the wrong directions. Is it possible that the Earth's magnetic poles are flipping, switching places as they have many times in the deep past? You might wonder, how could something so hidden and mysterious affect the entire planet and the civilizations we've built over millennia? Could such a cosmic event bring everything to a standstill? And if it does, what would happen to us? It is said that Earth's magnetic poles have flipped numerous times before, and scientists believe it could happen again. But one can't help but wonder, have we understood everything about these pole flips in history? The truth is, we don't fully know. We rely on bits of geological evidence found in rocks and ancient sediments. These natural records whisper tales of old changes in the Earth's magnetic field. Yet, why did these flips occur? Each rock's story is not one we can fully translate. Now, picture this: our modern world, so dependent on technology, maps, satellites, power grids, and the internet itself, all governed by electricity and magnetism. What if these clever inventions became useless because the magnetic field started dancing to a different tune? Planes would be grounded, ships lost at sea. GPS systems, our modern-day navigational heroes, might falter. Would our civilizations, grown so clever and yet so reliant on invisible forces beneath our feet and above, withstand such chaos? Throughout history, humans have faced and overcome countless challenges. But with a magnetic flip, we are not talking about the everyday hurdles we encounter. Instead, we entertain a cosmic game of dominoes. Imagine the very rhythm of the Earth altering, even if just slightly. Could the animals, who rely on the magnetic fields for migration, become disoriented? Would we see birds veering off course, and whales stranded mistakenly in shallower waters? What would the ancient human mind have made of such bewildering sights? Some say ancient legends might hold clues, those old stories about celestial battles and great upheavals in the skies. Could our ancestors have witnessed strange natural events linked to a magnetic switch that carved deep impressions into their oral histories? Stories that we passed down, never truly understanding their origins. At the core, our protective magnetic shield could weaken, letting the powerful dance of solar winds in. Imagine the northern and southern lights becoming ordinary spectacles across the globe as particles from the sun enter our atmosphere. But would this beauty come with a price? What would increased radiation mean for human health, or for our crops and electronic infrastructures? Could such changes bring humanity to a standstill, forcing us to rebuild from the ruins of our civilization? We often think of technology as our invincible ally, but in the face of a magnetic pole flip, how strong is it really? Could ancient technologies or forgotten knowledge offer us solutions? Perhaps, nestled in forgotten corners of the past, are truths we are yet to uncover. Truths silently urging us to reconsider how resilient our modern world truly is. And here lies the most exciting question of all: how would we unify in response to such a crisis? Could this cataclysmic event lead to a rebirth of societies? Perhaps we might reinvent ourselves, transcending old boundaries to forge new bonds, stronger and more aware of the Earth's fickle ways. This all sounds like the stuff of dreams, or maybe nightmares. But what if these dreams are closer to reality than we've dared to imagine? Humans have always been storytellers, and perhaps by looking closely at these mysteries, we craft a tale of resilience for future generations. Could this imagining unlock not only new understandings of our planet, but also a deeper comprehension of ourselves? After all, in many ways, the Earth and its mysteries are part of a grand story that we are still writing today. The next chapter of this story beckons with questions, possibilities, and the silent, invisible march of magnetic forces that govern the planet. As we look to the future, we must remember that the known, the unknown, and the yet to be known are all parts of our shared journey on this remarkable Earth. Chapter 5: Technological Twilight. Imagine a world where the ground beneath our feet slowly shifts, so slowly that most of us wouldn't even notice. What could possibly be happening as the axis of Earth slowly tips and the magnetic poles decide it's time for their little dance across the globe? Is there an ancient pattern we have forgotten, or perhaps a sign of something we fundamentally misunderstand about our planet? This natural phenomenon, where north becomes south and south becomes north, is what we call a magnetic pole flip. But could the consequences be more than just a navigation hiccup? For scientists, a magnetic pole flip is a normal part of Earth's ever-changing behavior, seen many times in the geological record. But what if there's more to it than just the swapping of poles? Could this mysterious dance also hold the power to usher in the end of our civilization as we know it? In a world where our lives are woven deeply with invisible strands of technology, can we truly predict what might happen if that invisible guide, the Earth's magnetic field, decides to turn upside down? Let's ponder the remarkable power of the magnetic field, a cloak that shields us from the sun's deadly winds. What if, as the poles reverse, this protective veil grows thin, leaving our gadgets and power grids exposed to the solar storm's unpredictable tantrums? Could entire cities be plunged into darkness, not by human hand, but by the very planet itself, revealing how fragile the web of modern life really is? Consider the voice of history. Our ancestors, who had no need for satellites or smartphones, might have faced challenges during these flips, too. How did they endure, and did they leave behind clues hidden in ancient myths or mysterious structures? Could stories of great floods and fires across cultures have their roots in something more than mere folklore, hinting instead at past civilizations brought to their knees by forces they couldn't comprehend? And speaking of myths, what about the stories of lost civilizations, advanced societies that simply vanished without a trace? Did they once thrive with technologies rivaling our own before being swallowed by the enigmatic cycle of the Earth's shifting poles? Are we staring into the eyes of a forgotten history every time we marvel at the Great Pyramid? It's aligning secrets, perhaps whispering truths about a cosmic order we are yet to decode. As we delve further into this notion, we find ourselves asking about the impact on the human mind. What influence might a pole reversal have on the delicate dance within our very neurons? The mysteries of mental connections and consciousness leave us wondering if such cosmic changes can affect how we think, feel, and respond. Could this lead to mass awakenings or descents into madness, as some historians speculate about past dark ages? What becomes of the technology that defines us, the very heartbeat of our modern world? Will satellites go rogue, communication signals scramble, and the internet we see as omnipresent vanish into digital oblivion? Picture the global confusion as every clock, compass and coordinate goes haywire, with airplanes rerouting and ships lost at sea? Could such chaos signal an end to our digital era, forcing us to rebuild in new, unforeseen ways? Standing on the precipice of understanding, we are left to wonder, is this the universe's way of teaching us humility, showing us that despite our technological prowess, we remain at the mercy of forces greater than our understanding? And as we look to the future, carefully watching the stars and listening to the earth, are we preparing ourselves for a transformation or an end? In this growing darkness of uncertainty, where the humdrum of daily routines meets cosmic unpredictability, can we learn from these tales of possible past civilizations? Can we heed the warnings and adapt, or even thrive amidst the unknown, forging a path where civilization and nature harmoniously coexist? Or is the fate of our current world already written in the stars, echoing the ancient whispers of forgotten ages? Chapter 6. Global Exodus. Have you ever wondered about the mysteries of our planet's magnetic field? This invisible force wraps Earth like an unseen cocoon, guiding travelers and protecting us from cosmic rays. Yet, it's wild to think that this field might not always stay stable. Science tells us that the magnetic poles have flipped many times throughout history. But what if, during one particular flip, civilizations faced a global-scale upheaval? Picture ancient societies living in perfect harmony with nature, unaware of this lurking phenomenon beneath their feet. Did they look up to the stars, noticing changes, or feel the earth tremble slightly as magnetic shifts hinted at coming chaos? Imagine the confusion and fear as their everyday norms started to unravel. Could they have mistaken these changes for wrathful gods or portents of doom? Now, think about the implications. Our civilization, with all its complexities and technologies, relies heavily on this magnetic field. It guides navigation, migratory animals, and helps maintain our atmosphere. If it were to change rapidly, what systems might fail? Could the disruptions throw humanity into chaos, as it potentially did long ago? Long before us, societies may have experienced something similar. Look at the ruins scattered around the world, the remnants of advanced societies whose achievements still puzzle us today. What if their sudden disappearances were not due to wars or natural cataclysms as we often assume, but the result of magnetic disturbances? Could these events have led them to abandon their cities and seek refuge elsewhere? And even today, scientists carefully watch the magnetic fields, observing subtle shifts and anomalies. They speculate about the next flip, which some claim is overdue. Could our modern world handle such a shift? Or would it lead to unprecedented migrations and societal shifts? Our reliance on digital communications, power grids, and satellites makes us vulnerable in ways those ancient communities never were. What precautions are truly in place, and what aren't? Throughout history, tales of lost cities and vanished people have captured the imagination. From Atlantis to El Dorado, these legends whisper of civilizations lost, perhaps too forgotten natural phenomena. Could they point to past events where magnetic mayhem caused an exodus as people sought safety? Is there a lesson hidden in these myths, urging us to prepare for what may come? What if these tales are more fact than fiction? In our quest for knowledge, we've looked under rocks, studied the stars, and dug deep into our past. Yet, the answers remain just out of reach, leaving us with more questions than certainties. Friends, as we ponder these possibilities, we must ask, are we as prepared as we believe we are? As we unravel the secrets of our magnetic world, What other mysteries do these shifts hold? The only certainty lies in uncertainty itself. So here we are, standing on the precipice of the unknown, with history's whispers echoing in our ears. Can we truly comprehend what awaits us? Will we, like the ancients, dismiss the signs until it's too late? Or are we on the brink of another great migration? Only time will tell if our understanding now will be our saving grace, or if we are destined to repeat the mistakes of those who came before us. Chapter 7. Earth Unplugged. Imagine a world teetering on the brink of the unimaginable. The invisible forces of our planet, the silent keepers of our magnetic field, begin to shift unpredictably. These magnetic poles, steadfast in their positions for ages, suddenly start to dance. It seems like just another day to us, doesn't it? Yet beneath our feet, something mysterious stirs. We rely on the Earth's magnetic field more than we realize. It's a guardian from the harsh solar winds, a protective shield that keeps our delicate planet safe. But what happens when it shifts, when it begins its grand flip? History hints at monumental changes, and some believe that past civilizations have even crumbled during these cosmic events. But what if it happens again? What if everything we know crumbles as the magnetic poles swap places? Many of us look up to the skies or out to the world for signs of change, but should we actually be looking beneath the surface, beneath our understanding? Scientists have found clues in the Earth's ancient rocks. These rocks, solid and silent, hold the story of magnetic pole reversals, the last of which happened around 780,000 years ago. But could this natural dance, this unseen ballet of Earth's magnetic mirage, be the hidden master of our fate? Some researchers wonder if we are overdue for another flip. They point to mysterious shifts in our magnetic fields, strength, and movements. Compasses might start to show north in new directions. Animals that rely on these magnetic whispers might lose their way, and technology we depend on could start to falter. Does this sound like the stuff of myths, or something far more formidable? As the poles begin their slow procession to switch places, could our world, so dependent on its modern creations, find itself once more in the abyss of confusion? Cities lit bright by night could flicker into darkness. Communication could dissolve into silence. The world could become much quieter, perhaps eerily so. People might scoff. They might say technology will save us. Yet, isn't it curious that we might not fully understand how fragile our advancements truly are? How sure are we that our satellites gliding in space will survive this magnetic mayhem? These objects buzzing above our heads, they map the skies and guide us here on Earth. What would we do without their confident hum and assurance? Could a mere reversal spell chaos? And what about society itself? Civilizations rise and fall with the tides of history, but could something like a pole flip, an event written in ancient stones yet hidden from most of historical view, truly be responsible for some of those declines? Consider the lost civilizations shrouded in mystery. Is it possible that they too faced a similar ordeal? We often think of vanished cultures as simply swallowed by time and conquest. But what if, instead, they were pushed into oblivion by the Earth's own whimsical dance? Asterisk, asterisk. Picture those who lived in these ancient times, looking up at the stars, wondering about their fate, and imagine if they too heard strange whispers of doom. Was there a fear of something unseen, something as unstoppable as the churn of the Earth itself? Their cities, once vibrant with life, now silent remnants, speak to us across the ages. What story do they tell? Is the magnetic reversal, then, a lever pulled by chance or necessity? A natural reset we cannot control or foresee, yet one entwined with the tapestry of Earth's timeline. Perhaps, just perhaps, our civilization, too, stands not at the top of history, but merely on a precipice hidden in plain sight. So, as we walk through our daily lives, blissfully unaware, is it prudent to ask if this natural phenomenon lurks closer than we think? The Earth, in its infinite complexity, may have more in store for us than we dare to dream. Thus, shouldn't we, when faced with the wonder and enigma of this magnetic mystery, hold our breath and listen for the unheard, the echoes of the past urging us to consider the possibilities of our future in a world where everything might just change. Chapter 8. Lost in Transition. Have you ever wondered what happens during those moments when our planet undergoes a massive magnetic pole flip? It's one of those rare events that excites scientists and stirs curiosity in all of us. What if these flips are not just random occurrences, but something much more significant, something no one has ever considered? Imagine a time where civilizations we know well simply vanish into history, leaving only questions behind. It's a known fact that Earth's magnetic field isn't static. Every so often, the poles switch places. North becomes south, and south becomes north. We've learned that these flips have happened throughout Earth's long history, but the mystery deepens when we consider their impact on the civilizations of mankind. During such times, might societies have faced challenges they couldn't overcome? What if the magnetic upheaval somehow disrupted their world in a way we can barely comprehend? Historians often hint at the decline of great civilizations, puzzled by sudden collapses. Think of the mighty Mayans, or the grand Indus Valley civilization, both seemingly advanced yet bafflingly disappeared. Could their demise be linked to these mysterious magnetic events? Have we been missing this part of the puzzle, skipping over it like a minor detail, when it might be the key to understanding why some societies didn't stand the test of time? During a magnetic pole flip, scientists speculate that the protective shield surrounding our planet weakens. This can leave Earth vulnerable to cosmic radiations. What if this radiation had a greater influence than anyone realizes? Could it affect humans, confuse animal migrations, spark climatic changes, or even throw technology into chaos? Many will say Earth's environment doesn't drastically change during a flip. But what if the ancients faced challenges we've underestimated or misunderstood? What about the stories and myths passed down through generations that speak of times when the skies were in turmoil, when strange events redirected the course of history? These tales have long been dismissed as folklore or legend, yet discerning eyes might see them as records of ancient truths, bearing witness to a world turning upside down, not just metaphorically, but magnetically too. There are places on Earth with anomalies in magnetic fields even today, strange zones where the compass spins wildly. Isn't it uncanny to think civilizations may have risen and fallen based on their proximity to such anomalies? Imagine societies that drew strength and spirituality from these magnetic zones. If a flip affected their sacred sites, would that have shattered their belief systems, leading to chaos or even collapse? Some scientists suggest we might be heading towards another flip soon, or perhaps it has already begun. With technology reliant on satellite communications and navigation systems, how would our modern civilization cope? Would our dependence on the digital world risk a spectacular crash? The idea sends shivers. Could our cities and societies quietly crumble if faced with disruptions we're unprepared for. Let's take a step further. What if ancient structures, the pyramids and stone circles, are not just marvels of architecture? What if they had a deeper purpose linked to ancient magnetic knowledge, perhaps as stabilizers or beacons during times of cosmic magnificence? Could they be silent remnants, clues from a past that knew and tried to warn or encode knowledge about this magnetic dance? The questions continue to mount, weaving a web of wonders and intrigue, inviting us to explore beyond the surface of historical accounts. Each flip, each transition of our magnetized world could be a chapter, a hidden story of Earth's incredible, untold history. Perhaps the truth lies deep within the fabric of our past, waiting for someone to connect the dots, unraveling the secrets of a globe perpetually swaying to its magnetic rhythm. In the end, we are left to ponder the incredible complexities of our planet, realizing we may only understand a fraction of what intertwines life, Earth, and the cosmos. Each magnetic flip invites us to think deeply, broadening our perspectives of history and the forces that could shape it. The mysteries of magnetic transitions hold us suspended in wonder, a lingering reminder that the past holds many secrets, and sometimes the simplest questions can open doors to extraordinary revelations. Chapter 9: Age of Survival. Imagine a time many thousands of years ago when the Earth was different. The stars in the sky didn't dance the way they do now, and the compass wouldn't guide you north. Instead, it would spin, pointing to places unknown. How did people find their way? What if the whole planet was experiencing more than just a change in direction? What if it was something bigger, something that could end entire civilizations? Scientists tell us that Earth's magnetic poles have flipped many times before, just like a coin being tossed. But these aren't just small adjustments. Imagine the North becoming the South, sending everything out of balance. Animals rely on the Earth's magnetic field to migrate. Birds, whales, even tiny turtles use it to find their way across great distances. What happens when their maps no longer work? Do they struggle? Do they perish? But let us think bigger. There was a time, they say, when human beings weren't as dependent on technology as we are today. There were great cities built with stone and ingenuity, reaching to the sky in ways that still baffle our scientists. These people might have looked up at the changing heavens with a mixture of fear and awe, wondering what was happening to their world. Could it be that the magicians, the wise men, and the leaders of ancient times saw signs in these sky changes? Did they know that something immense was happening? Perhaps they realized the downfall of their civilization was near. It leaves us to wonder, did they prepare? Did they hide secrets from the world that might have changed the course of history if only they had been discovered in time? Let's think for a moment about the way these ancient people lived. They would have depended on their senses and their connection to the earth. But in those moments, when the world was in chaos, what did they feel? How did they survive the confusion caused by the shifting poles? We're left with remarkable ruins, mysterious traces that suggest they may have tried to preserve knowledge in stone or symbols that we still struggle to understand. Have you ever wondered why so many ancient civilizations seem to have vanished? Suddenly, their cities left, as if the people just disappeared. Perhaps the earth itself swallowed them up, leaving only clues for us to piece together like a grand cosmic puzzle. What if they were warning us, trying to speak across time about the dangers that come with such a shift? Some believe these pole flips could make the earth vulnerable, opening it up in ways we can't fully comprehend. There are accounts of strange events from myths around the world: floods, fires, darkness, and light. All of them speak of times when the earth and the sky behaved strangely, when gods walked the earth, or when great beasts emerged from the sea. Were these stories born from the imaginations of frightened people, or do they hold kernels of truth about what really happened? The question that haunts us is simple yet profound. How did they do it? How did they watch the world crumble without the tools and technologies we have today? Were there lessons they left behind, encoded in their monuments and writings? Did they have help, wisdom passed down in stories so powerful they shaped entire cultures? It makes us wonder how much we rely on the thin thread of nature's balance. In the blink of an eye, everything we know could change. And if another flip were to happen today, would we be any better prepared than they were? So, we are left to ponder their fate. Were their last moments spent watching the sky, or praying to their gods for salvation? And in gentle whispers, do we sense their ancient voices trying to warn us even now as we continue on our own path? A path that could lead us to either discovery or downfall. The mystery remains for us to unravel, as much a part of us as the very ground on which we stand. Isn't it fascinating how the deeper we dig, the more questions we raise? How little we truly know about these grand shifts, and how much there is still to learn. It invites us to look at the world with new eyes, to listen closely to its whispers, and never stop asking, what if? Chapter 10. Rebirth of Worlds. Imagine a world where everything we know about history and civilization gets wiped away. And then picture this happening over and over again. What if our Earth, brimming with towering cities and complex cultures, finds itself hit with an invisible reset button? This isn't just the stuff of wild imagination. Scientists tell us that Earth's magnetic poles have flipped many times before. The north becomes south and the south becomes north. But what does that really mean for us? Let's delve into this mystery together. We often think of our planet's magnetic field as something far away, something only affecting compasses and large ships, but its power reaches into every corner of our lives. Our very survival could rest upon it. Historical records and ancient myths speak of strange phenomena, sudden natural disasters that dramatically alter life. Could magnetic reversals have been at play, bringing an end to once great civilizations? Consider this. The magnetic field protects us from the sun's harsh solar winds. Without this shield, would our world face fiery storms from the sky? Records hint at catastrophic climate changes, extinctions, and upheaval. Could it be that these tales aren't mere legends, but whispers of history repeating itself, stories left over from times when the very forces of nature reshaped the earth? Picture the stories from ancient cultures, talking of great floods, catastrophic fires, and endless nights. What if these weren't just stories, but memories of past pole shifts? Many scientific minds are unraveling this intriguing puzzle, pointing toward the possibility that magnetic reversals have played a role in earthly cataclysms. Did these shifts bring darkness to once bright ages, with no electricity, animals disoriented, migrating off course, life in turmoil? What happens to those civilizations built on the edge of known and unknown? Can we dismiss the idea that grand societies could have crumbled under such chaos, leaving behind nothing but new beginnings hidden beneath layers of earth and time? And yet, new worlds emerged like a phoenix from the ashes. As everything seemed lost, sprouts of new life took root, carving out fresh paths. Nature's rebirth is a testament to resilience and defiance against all odds. Valleys once barren, now lush with green. Rivers once dry, flowing with new life-giving water. History, or what remains of it, tells us that human beings have this undeniable spirit to adapt, to start anew. In the face of a primal world's fall, could those left standing learn from what came before? Or is each rebirth an earmark of forgotten wisdom? The marvel is, we may never truly know, but here we are, yet again. On the brink of our own understanding and technological wizardry, could it be that whispers of forgotten times lurk within our own future? Are we listening to the calls of our planet as it prepares for its next great leap? Can we be ready? Looking back, we see that civilizations have faced endings only to rise again. The moments when worlds were reborn may still hold answers. Are the stories of these rebirths kept silent by no mere accident? Perhaps they hold a lesson, concealed within nature's cycles and Earth's mysterious dance. As we ponder the vast possibilities, ask yourself, if Earth's magnetic poles were to shift again, swiftly and without warning, would we to become just another chapter in the deep, mysterious chronicle of time? The thought lingers, like shadows stretching across twilight, leaving us wondering what tomorrow might bring. Perhaps the next rebirth lies just around the corner, patiently waiting to unfold its secrets.